my name is David Montoya, and here we are with another drawing class that we're about to start. Me and Buddy. Buddy, come on up here. My dog Buddy here. Say hi. Say hi. That's Buddy. Well, anyway, we're here, and we're going to draw a drawing. A guy wants to have a full, in fact, I have just kind of the little drawing they gave me that they want to have a pool rendition. So they can have the top rendition, but I'm going to turn the top drawing, but I'm going to turn it into a rendition and really make it come alive and make it come out of there. So our lesson number 2 here in my series of drawing is to show you how to draw rocks. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. I'm going to show you how I got the dimension, how I'm going to bring it out, and just have it come out at you. And I'm kind of at a level where you're sitting looking at the pool. It's kind of shimmering. The waterfall's falling. It's kind of high. And it just gives you that resort effect. And that's really what we want, the resort effect. The resort effect. Our drawing should just come out at you and just go, wow, look at that. That's what I want. We want to build value. Okay, if you're selling hardscapes, you're selling any of these things, whether you're doing it with blocks or rocks or artificial rock or panels, whatever you use, whatever your medium is, you want to make sure that you have a really good rendition to give people a vision of what you have in here. So let's get to drawing. Okay, so I set 2 points, 1 point here and 1 point over here. And now it's going to be a negative edge pool, and the grid is all sitting here. So this is all in here. This is the grid. All comes off of this point. And the other point here, remember, here's my horizon line coming across here. Point here, point over here. This comes out to here, so it's kind of a grid. But this grid also stands for a grid up on top. So I made first the retainer wall, I would call it, but it's mainly the negative edge pool. The water's going to just kind of stream down off of here, kind of bleed down into the pool off of here. Over here I'm making rocks in the foreground. It's always good to theme and make rocks around here. I'm sure they have a patio back here, and the pool is mainly up on top here. This is kind of a holding area, yet it is part of the pool that they're going to come out of. When they come out of the slide, they're going to land in the slide here and come into this and then back around. When I draw ponds or pools, I like to kidney shape it. If you just draw it like that, it doesn't look good. If you bring it in, maybe bring a rock in here like that, and then kidney it around, man, it adds so much more softness and dimension to the drawing. So as we're doing it here, you'll see the drawing the pencil's hard to see probably right now, but I'm making it's sliding up and it's coming down, it's coming out at you. Okay, so the slide's coming over here. You won't see it because it kind of goes back behind, although it comes up. So here I'm going to use these little round circles to give that effect that it's a slide. Okay, and then I'll over here you'll be able to see this side over here, and then we'll bring that out into the water. From here I'm going to bring this around and bring that into the water. So there's the slide. Now all I need to do is kind of cave around it, bring rock up in here, and panels coming up. And I could make this a little steeper. I could bring it up a little bit like that, make that slide go a little steeper, so it gives it more of the effect of it's going down. And you can bring the water up through here to make this whole thing look like it's less steeper. So you set your tail on that thing there, and it slides you all the way down in here. Now I'm going to bring rock in and out of here to show that it's not. Give it more of an effect that's like some plastic thing, but it's actually a real rock slide type of a thing there. So okay, and of course we can do that with our panel system. We can bring a lot of realistic rock looking stuff. Now as you can see the top, this is the top. You won't see it go like this because you can't see. You're over here, you're only seeing very little of it. It's just like you seeing this triangle here. But if I go like this, you see it turns into like a line, and just see there's a line like that. Go like that, you see more of it. Well here, same thing. There's the grid. The grid comes up here, you're not going to see as much. Okay, so I bring this across. I'm bringing where the negative edge for the pool is right in here. Okay, so here. All right, so there's the side of the slide where it's going to come in. And now I'm going to bring the water straight up from here. I'm going to have the water. Now, if I stop the water here, it shows that it's coming back over here. And so then it shows more of an overhang. As I was saying in other earlier videos, the closer you show this to the foreground, you could actually show it over here like the old MC Escher drawings, or his perspective drawings. He always did that. So I'm gonna just kind of do my, remember I did the waterfall, I kind of do my rings. Now here I got a rock coming up. I'm gonna bring another one up from that. Another one there. And then of course I'm gonna do a big waterfall. You know, just, well, not, I say big, but really tall. Now over the back here, I can bring the rocks up, because behind that you want the stairs to go up to give it some height up here. And then from here, this is gonna, invisibly, this slide's gonna go up, curve in here, and sit you right down into the water from there, okay? Okay. All right, there we are. Now, this is coming behind here. And now you can see it's overhanging onto that. Looking good. So far we have the rock here. I call it the rock, but it's the panels in our panel system. That's basically what we're putting here. I'm designing the big waterfall coming over here. And now you got this resort effect. The rocks coming under there, cleffing out. I'm bringing the rocks all in here and across, and then back over here. Now when I get the pen, you probably see it better. It's hard to see it with the pencil. And then I'm going to theme it, and that's kind of it. And then I'll have the trees out the background coming out, just kind of give it effect. Plantings over here. And I think we got pretty much a whole setup. All right, so let me get the pens out, and let's start drawing this. And here, this is where we're gonna, I'll kind of do some invisible lines, maybe the lines of the water coming down and streaming down into here. The edge of this coming in for sure. There we go, that's going in. There you go. So now we know we have the top of this. I'll kind of clarify it a little bit more. All right. Bring this over here. Okay, now I'm going to bring this rock up into where the water is. Bring it over here. And as I bring it up more here, these levels here, it gets in deeper. Here it is right here. So now I'm going to bring to the top here. I'm going to use this as a straight edge, and here's my water drop in here. There you go. There it is, just coming across. Now that I have the water done, that's a little bit too, it doesn't look, I need to get a little bit more scattered. It's too uniform. Okay, so now you can't see the top of the water because we're down here. You can see the top of this water, but you go up there, you can't see the top of that. Nor can you see the top of this water here. This water is just going to flow right out. And I'm drawing the bottom of it, which is, as I've said before, I like to draw the splash. Then I draw the little circles in there. Little circles that draw in there. Kind of give that, you know, how the water separates as it falls. And it kind of shows the shimmer of the water. Do the same thing coming up this way. Alright, so now we got that out of the way. Now let's get the rocks. Okay, I'm going to bring a rock in here. And here, up and out. Bring another one across here. This rock's going to come down and sit into the top of this water here that you can't see. Then I'll bring it back around over here. And I like to give it a little bit of dimension by just putting lines in it like that. So around here like that. As it comes around, you can see kind of, it just added a dimension, a little bit of a, just going like that a little bit, kind of added, it gave it some 3D texture. And I'm going to do a little one over here again, same thing. And I'll bring it over here. Look at all that, kind of gives it texture in and out, and that's what we want, that in and out texture right there, okay? So then it goes to there. I'll bring a line across here, show that we ain't playing with this thing, look at that. Okay. There we go. Now it's already, I did the dark in the back here because it really brings the water out behind it. Shows that cave over. Although the cave over, I still have rock here. So I still have rock behind this. Okay. And then I'm going to throw a little of this in it, which is the splash. And of course, we're going to show the reflection and everything like that. But right now, the bulb of the water is right in here. It's just kind of coming over. Because remember, this is a negative edge. It's that bulb just coming up over there. And here, I'm going to... Alright. Looking good. Now I want the water in the back to show off. So let's just throw a line over here. You say, well, how do you know where to get the lines, Dave? Because sometimes you're like, where do I get the lines? How do I know that's a... Look how the effect, I'm making this water come out at you by putting lines behind it. And over here, I'm also doing another, this right here, this whole front here is bigger. Remember, it's always bigger, always looks bigger over here, and it goes smaller as it goes back. Well, the lines that I set, wherever my lines are, here's my main line here. This is my vantage point, but as I go back over here, this eventually will become a reflection. So I'll go like that, it'll become a reflection. I'll get my lines around here like this and do like that, the ripple, and draw right through. There you go. See, all of a sudden it looks like water. That little effect gives it that water effect. And so even if I darken, let's say I darken it up a little bit, okay? So I'm darkening this up a little bit more here. And now it's a darker effect. So let's go like this. Look at that. All of a sudden it just blows it right up. That little bit right there just really shows the reflection. So let's do it again over here. It's really kind of cool how we do this. I'm going to do over here. Okay. And now we're going here. Okay. Just really giving that cool effect here. And under here I know I have rock coming this way. And the rock comes up over here. And across. So here we go. There it again. I'm just kind of make it dark into there. And I'll use my shading pins to really clarify it. But right now, the lines that you draw really make cool. Now this rock looks flat here. So how do we make it bring it out? Well, you can go like this. And all of a sudden it just came out. See that? And now this came out too. Now it kind of gives you, it comes out at you. This rock stops right here, and then I'm going to bring it across. There you go. And here you go. And you can see that rock is just kind of up underneath it or holding. I could make this whole back area black, and it'll just blow that. In fact, let's do that. Let's just kind of do a black shadow on the back of that, and let's see how it pops, just to show the effect. This is a dark pin. This is one of those favorite caster pins, same thing. But what I'm doing is I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to make the whole thing just straight black out. And sometimes you think, well, what the heck? It's not going to look good, but it actually will. Watch how it brings it all to the front. Right there, look at that. Now when I do a reflection, my reflection comes off of that. I'm going to do the same reflection off of here. It's going to be darker. Because it's reflecting that dark water, or that, you know. It's reflecting all of that dark shadow back in there. There it is. Now, in the meantime, you're not going to get rid of you still want those nice thin ripples in here. So we're going to put the ripple in here. Okay, so you still have a ripple in there. It's just this part of the reflection is going to bring out the water differently, because you're reflecting all that dark shadowed area, and so therefore you're getting darker, and you can see it kind of It ties into itself here in a little bit. For the most part, this is how it is. There you go. Now look at how we've gotten so much detail and we still got to come out. So as we come out, we'll get more and more detail and do more and more detail on the waterfall and the whole perspective drawing of this waterfall pool effect. And we want people to see this and go, wow, that's what I want in my backyard. This is the difference. It's the building of the value. And when we're building value like this, that's all the difference. And so this building value, part of building value is building the perception of the value, and that's the actual drawing here. So now you can see through the water by just drawing kind of a sparse line right there. It's, you know, just kind of an outline line, nothing really big there. It's just kind of, you know, you can see it, and over here I have a line here. I'll do a little detail of that too. Kind of like it's just going through and you can see it. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same here. Bring this line up over here. So I'm kind of having these rocks kind of just like they're a big giant cleft ledge type of thing there, you know what I mean? So, you know. You know, once you get good at or better at drawing these things, so you understand how rocks work and how you can make the rocks look more 3D. Like here, I'll do a line there and bring it in, and then bring this line across there to that, and it looks like it's all following through. On the internet, I find a lot of good carvers, and they're able to get really cool carving going in here. There's a guy by the name of Warren Ness, and you can look him up. He's one of the best carvers I've seen. Some of these guys are really good at this. And they get this, and they get really, they know how to really make the natural effect of rock. So I kind of, you know, I study what they do. I really, you know, they must study a lot of rock features and stuff, and I try to emulate that as much. I try to learn as much as I can off a lot of these guys that are just superior. And so I want to get in there and to be able to, and he draws actually very good. I've seen some of his sketches and drawings. He does really good. But he not only can draw them, but he can install them. That's one thing about this is we have such great products that, yes, we can draw it and everything, but we can also install this product with the products that we have, the panel system and everything we have. We're able to actually not only get a vision of it, but actually go take it and actually make it reality. So I'm coming back this way. I'm going to do a huge rock in here. We'll do a big giant rock in here. And I like to do with the panels or what anything is to make inversions and make it look like it's two separate or rocks. And you know, cracks and craggles and all the different things that we want to put inside of this, this whole thing here. There you go. So now I did like almost like a cross, you know, but it gave it that, you know, if you've ever seen a CAD drawing and they're trying to give the effect of a round rock like that, they use the lines like that to, you know, to kind of outline it. They'll do like a, you know, a CAD drawing will have something like that, and then you know, and it gives a 3D effect to what they're doing. Anyway, not a good rendition of that, but that's kind of what I do with these rocks. I want to make them look, you know, have the point there or whatever, is to make I'll darken one side or dark, you know, maybe I'll play on a dark side over here, and then let the other side be lighter, and it kind of gives the dimension. It gives the effect of different shadings. So there, this gives an effect. So when I did that with the little dark and stuff like that, this gives an effect that it's cracked there, and then it's actually going to go in and then come back out. You know, that's why rocks look. If you ever study rocks, that's what you want. So now it's looking pretty good. They look like these big, massive rocks. Smaller rocks, something about being able to use artificial rock. Real rocks, you see on these Real Rock TV shows, I would never do that. I used to do that a long time ago. Why would you ever do that? That takes forever with cranes and dropping the rocks in the pools and all that. This right here is so much easier, so much better. And the rocks, I mean, to try to get rocks this size in there, it's pretty much next to impossible unless you have some, you know, it's just it is. It's very difficult. So this right here, I can create massive rocks. I can do cave overs and all kinds of fun stuff. And it's not only more affordable, but it's more doable. So now I have a paneled rock over here, a big massive rock here. I'll bring this into here. And this little corner here, there again, I'll bring a kind of a shaded effect there. Okay, we're going to draw the rest of the slide. This is coming down here, so you can see how it's coming over. There's a cave in here. So to give that real cave effect, I'm going to bring the rock over here, and it kind of goes back behind the cave there. It opens up here, as you can see. But right here, there's a cave, so I'm going to darken this up. Okay, so we're now getting really close to finishing up just this one area. And we're finishing up mainly the background we have, which is kind of darker, but now we're going to finish up this other area here. You want to make sure that we get all this in here. So this is all coming down like this. We're going to make the water come into the pool. It's going to come over here like this side. And of course, it's going back, and as it goes back, it gets smaller. And in perspective, lines converge, so that it's converging, but it's going up still. This rock takes over because it's in the foreground. Since the rock is in the foreground, you see that the slide is in the background, and here the slide comes to the foreground as it comes back around to you. That's part of the perspective, is that it does have that. And then of course I'm going to make it. I can make it, basically making a rock right there, or a flat right there, by nothing more than just doing some lines. And that line just brings it all to there. And then this comes across there. There you go. Now here's the slide. You can see it's kind of outlined here, but I'm going to bring the slide. You can see I do that little line like that, and it gives it that little round, you know, that little round effect that the line is there. So you can see now. And then of course I'll do the same with the water of the slide. I'll just kind of bring a little bit of the water like that, give it a few lines in there. Gives it that effect. And of course, as it sheens over, it's always going to have its stretch lines right there, a little bit of line that comes over it. And then underneath there, I'll kind of outline where the slide is. So you can kind of just throw a little outline under there. It doesn't have to be real prolific, but enough so you can see it. As I did that behind here, I'm going to do the same type of thing behind the rock here. And you can see every now and then I'll bring a darker line in here. I can do that, and it'll just kind of go look. It kind of gives that reflection of the dark being behind the water there, and the water just kind of pushing through or reflecting out. The sheen of the water reflecting out of that. So here I'm bringing this back across. I'll bring a rock, not all the way, not real dark here, just kind of a shade. So that way it shows that the rock is not completely going depth in, but it's kind of stepping out a little bit. It has a little bit of a wall there. This one does the same, and then it comes back around like this, and then this is going to come around here. Now you have dimension instead of not square. You don't want all these square rocks. You want some kind of dimension. You want something that goes round at you back in. And over here we have a little crevice in here, so I'm gonna use this. Even though this is a detail pin, I'm going to use it to just bring it dark. And here we go. It's really nice and dark. There we go. Little John Williams guitar in the background, if you can hear that. All right, so as this comes down, do the same thing. now it's coming across. It's coming back across this way. And it's like this big slab of rock coming up, and rocks underneath this, and the rocks falling, the water's falling right under there. Can we build it that way? Absolutely. And this is just the way to do it. So when people see this, boy, the value just really enhances. They might say, well, we got a certain budget, but because you're doing something so out of the box, you can really bring value and get more for your money, which you should, since this is such great artwork, as far as not just the perception of it, but the installation of it, because there's a lot of work in this. Remember, I'm teaching how to draw hardscapes so that you can design the hardscape and actually install it. Well, it looks good. I don't want to put too many lines, just enough to give it a good effect. And so now I'm going to bring it across, and inside here, we're going to use, I'll probably, instead of using underneath here, I'll use dark lines. And maybe down in here, some different shaded lines to give that dark effect in here. But I'll use my my gray pens to get a better effect on this, and I'll bring a fracture or two across here like that. And bring the rocks around here. There again, see, I just kind of square the, if I want to get a top to a rock, I'll just go like this, bring it across, then I'll bring a line across. And now you can tell that there's a rock up there, but you can't really see it. You can tell it's kind of just faded up there on the top, and then you can bring this in. There you go. There, very nice. So I think we're done with the rocks there. I think I need to bring this one across a little bit more, and I'm just going to drop it right down to make a big, giant, big rock out of this rock right here. You know, you can just, you can actually, so this is all underneath the cave there. It's all going to be shaded in here. Bring it into the where the water is. Kind of just give it that effect. Now you can see that's coming right out of it. Now it kind of gave depth. That light and dark right there really gives the depth. You know, this in here is just. Look at that, it's just kind of coming out at you now. The water remains reflective, but light. Light. And then over here, I'll bring it up from here a little bit. And there is the reflection off of there, as you can see. And then I'll throw a little reflection right here. Now we're going to make it dark, go back to the dark pin to show underneath here how the water edge is dark underneath this thing here. I'm going to bring it across here and have it all just really dark underneath here. Give that effect. Kind of gives it a line, and then I'll draw its reflection underneath here, like almost in a ripple. And I'll bring it across just really lightly. See, I kind of dot it all the way through because the water interrupts the dark ripple there, but it picks it up through the reflection. So, letting it know that you can actually see through it, so it gives that effect that it is water. Okay. And now I can actually add some darker colors in here in the cave with this also. I can actually come in here. Underneath here, you're going to get some darker type of colors there. So, see there? And I'll bring it up from this side over here. It's nice and dark in there. You can see it gives depth to the cave. And I'll throw little dark colors here and there to just in between a lot of these cracks and stuff like that in here. Starting to pop, starting to come out of there. All in here. So now the little dark things really kind of give the separation of the rocks. The cracks really come alive, and it starts to give that real rock effect. And that's why I'll use this up on top a little bit in between, where it's cracking in between, like right here. I use a darker, and then light. You know, the light crack, and then the darker pin just kind of brings it out. Now here I had this dark, so on the other side I'm going to pick it up like that. So I'll make it dark all the way through. All the way through here. So there it is, it's coming through. There we go. Starting to look really good, and that black, man, it's really popping out that water, making it come out and making it look really effective. Now instead of having such a black and white type of thing, I'm going to fade it in with a little bit of these lines here, and I'll fade in the rock lines to it where it's shaded. So it looks like it's kind of slowly coming out of that dark into lighter colors. See that right there? Nice. Like this, and I'm going to bring a little bit more texture to this side. Just amazing how you just do a few lines like that, just a few straight lines like that, and it brings out all kinds of texture and effects. All right, I think you can overtrees. It's kind of a scribble. I'm kind of scribbling out, you know, but I'm going to draw them in here, and then, you know, different trees in the background, so you can, you know, just kind of. And then I'm going to draw a dark background. Let's finish up the rock. Let's finish up the rock up on this side here. Okay, I'm going to draw another rock kind of protruding out of here. I love doing this, you know, just creating this really cool effect here. Now the rock comes out quite a bit. You can see that goes dark behind there. So I'm going to do a little bit of that in here, but not much, and then bring it out. And here's where the water is falling there. Need to give some dimension, again, some texture to this rock to make that it's coming this way and that way. And that's kind of what I want to do. Again, we're going to draw the ripples. As you can see, we still have more of a reflection there, so I'm going to keep on bringing that reflection right on down. It's starting to work, starting to look good. Every time I have a line coming up like that, like, you know, the rock, whatever, I'm going to bring lines straight down. almost directly straight down with it because I want it to reflect. There's going to be reflections coming straight down into the water. Okay. Over here, I'm going to bring the bottom of the waterfall, and it's going to be kind of a, because the water's falling off of here, so we're going to, we'll do some, give that sheen effect that the water's coming down. Little circles every now and then, just add a little bit to that. So, and there again. See, the reflection comes directly down, so I'm just bringing some bead of water like that. And then of course I'm going to bring another ripple across here. And do the same over here. But notice I'm making it flat across. I'm not, I mean, you can bring this water out here a little bit, like that. But for the most part, I'm bringing this across. I want to give this more of a flat grid, so I can do the rocks or anything else. I want to give it that flat effect. Got the lines coming in, and then this kind of diminishes. But I'm going to draw a ripple into this right here. This rock coming down like this, I'm going to do the same type of thing into here. Like that. Okay. Now I let the grid kind of determine how the flat part of this right here, so, But I'm going to bring the bottom of the pool over here again around. Kind of goes in there, as you can see. And I'll bring a shade in there to kind of give it that that it's looking like give it that effect like it's going away from you inside there. Let's make the dark, let's get some darker colors up in here and make the bottom of the background shaded. Now I'm not going to go full dark there, but I'm going to go this kind of dark. This is pretty dark. And I'm doing kind of a black and white. This goes in here. Speed this up a little bit and help you try to get this all done so you can see how it goes instead of having to. Now that little bit of background really kind of blows the thing up. It kind of gives you the effect of what's going on with the Okay, so this is darker, this is a lighter shade, and it still brings it out really nicely. You can still do the trees and like that. I could have the limbs grow in there and do the same thing and come back with another one there. So there you go. So now we have this trees in the background, and we have the waterfall kind of popping out at you. It's really nice. I'll even probably do a little bit of shading in here, which is next to the water here, and it's kind of shade this whole rock here, and all up under here. And as we do this, of course, there again, we're going to take the reflection of this all the way down into the water, just like this right here. All of it reflects down into the water, okay? And then we have the ripples, which really bring it out really nicely. And I'll throw a little bit of shadowing in here on the foreground of this rock over here. And boy, it just starts to pop. Now, this is basically a good design for a pool. We want to make sure that this whole design comes all the way across down. I'm going to bring this down in here to the water again. We have that ripple, which is going to come across in here. All right, so bring some shadowing under here and show the underside of that under that rock right there. Kind of separates it there. Turn it out nice. Now I'm going to use different kinds of shades. Just kind of bring the, and you don't even have to do the whole part of the rock. Just like do a little section like that. Just kind of like that. See that? How cool that is. And it just starts giving texture to the not only to the texture of the rock, but the shadows and all the clefts and all the cuts and everything under there. It's looking good. Looking real good. You can see the reflection of the water's looking good and everything. I'm going to bring some different types of shading into this, off of this water, the water over here that where the negative edge is, where this water's just kind of crawling down and bleeding down the side of this wall that they're built right here. They're going to build right here. Same thing here. And that's coming up. And this same thing here, we want this reflection coming into the water. It's coming into there. We want reflection coming down in. It's going to come up, reflection down in, up, down in. Same thing. So there we go. The reflection's coming in. Okay. All right, looking good. I'm going to throw a little bit of this gray in here to give a different color of water reflective on here. A different gray, which you know kind of looks like it's a different shade. And then we're going to go back that way. But you can see how the water feature is kind of taking its own way here. There again, you probably you know we can go with different. That's a little bit dark there, but we can get this and you know and. Well, I'll do these like light lines in here, and it gives that flat plane on that rock. I could do another one over here. I could do a big, to kind of offset it, because all the big rocks are here, so we want to kind of offset it a little bit. So I'm going to do there again with the little plane like that, and it kind of shows the rock coming in, kind of protrudes out there. I like that rock like that, like kind of big flat rocks. That's really nice. And then over here, you won't see the rest of this usually, because I'm going to make a big rock coming across in here like this. which takes up, and it's going to kind of be the foreground. And as that takes the foreground, it just kind of owns this space right here. This is coming at you. You can even draw a tree coming around that way if you wanted to. But we'll take it just with this rock here, that'll be fine. And I'll kind of give a little shade underneath the tree. See, when you get that line there, it kind of gives a shade under the tree. And then you can put the scribble behind the trunk, so the trunk shows like it's going up into and through the tree. Okay. Now I'll bring this dark in here a little bit in here, just to kind of bring that shading all the way through. Looking good, just about there. I have another area over here that I'm going to bring across. Okay, now we've added on all the shades, the shading, the difference of the shades, the shadows and stuff like that in here. And it's coming out really nice. Look at how nice this is looking. Well, you have the background, you have the foreground, you have the water going in. So, since this is showing up like that, I'm going to show the reflection of it going into the water. And it just really looks like glass now, those whole things right there. I'm going to bring this up a little bit, throw a little bit of color into this. And I think we're about done there. I can bring this into here, and that's it. Throw a little bit in here. There we go. All right. Well, this is the end of this lesson on how to draw a water feature. And when you learn how to draw the rocks, the more you're doing, the better you're going to get. But this is giving a dimension, showing the slide coming out at you, showing the perspective. 2 points right here. This is all gridding this way. That's grid this way. And it gives you those planes of the water. The planes of the water and the reflection of the water going down in. And this, see how the reflection of the water, that should just go right up into all the way down in completely. Looking good, man. Tell you what, you show this to a customer and they see it and it just kind of, it just becomes theirs. And they had the idea, but now they have a better idea. So, looks good. Well, there it is. We drew the drawing. It came out really nice. And here it is. We like it. Look at that. Start to finish. We had you can see all the slide coming down, the beautiful waterfall. Remember the 2 levels I talked about? That's what we got it now. So, right on. Okay? So, we'll be back again with another lesson and maybe just doing some retainer walls or some sidewalks, some more simple stuff. This stuff here is a little more resort style. And because we have the panel system here at the Cliff Rock panel system, we're able to do really great big things with it. And so sometimes what's nice about being able to have a really good product, you can draw bigger things and get a bigger canvas when you go and you start getting creative. If you're creative, like I said, you're only limited by the products that you have and the canvas. So you want to have a great canvas, a great idea, get the ideas and start drawing it. Once you're able to draw it and really convey the idea what you have, then you start putting it together. And when I see this is what I would like a waterfall to look like. Now I can actually get my panels and actually put it on there and make it look like that. So you have some real natural rocks. You can do the same thing with rocks. You can do the same thing, probably not as much, a little bit harder to get the overhangs and stuff like that. But you still can get vision and still put it on there. There's a lot of creativity with water features. I love water features. Been playing with water since I was a kid, just the little streams and stuff like that. I love water features. You guys stay tuned for the next time, and I will see you again on the next drawing class.